We couldn't have you on the podcast without talking nerdy tech stuff, and everyone's always curious and clamoring for their online retailer to figure out what tires you're using for next season. What's You were a Pathfinder
hmm
geek for quite a while, and you've moved away. What's in vogue this year? What are you thinking of rocking?
Yeah, so I think last year was the year that the mountain bike tire in gravel racing really took off, and I expect it will be no different this year. And I think at this point last year, almost no one was using mountain bike tires for gravel racing. If you look at Sea Otter is happening in 2 weeks at the point of actually not even 2 weeks, a week and a half at the point of recording this. I bet you the lifetime Grand Prix field at Sea Otter, I bet two-thirds of them are on mountain bike tires at this
What,
point for a gravel race, not the mountain bike race, for a gravel race.
so unpack that a little bit for me. How much of that is the standard is quite good? You're not getting separation as early in these races, so you're in the wheel at higher speeds.
hmm
People aren't calling potholes, there's holes everywhere. A flat effectively takes you out of the race. How much of it is robustness against flat versus rolling resistance, efficiency, aerodynamics?
Yeah. Well, it depends on which rider you ask. Like if you ask somebody like Alexi Vermeulen, he will tell you the only reason he runs mountain bike tires is so that he doesn't flat, which good enough. At least he's embracing it. But if you ask someone like me, I think that even hypothetically, if the race was a time trial and you could have clear sight of your line the entire time, I would still run mountain bike tires for
Okay.
a gravel race like Unbound, because almost the entire thing is gravel. And so let's unpack that a little bit. There's a very specific reason why I go with mountain bike tires and not just oversized gravel tires. And we did a little bit of this testing at Silverstone when I was over in the UK.
Rule 28.
Yeah, with Rule 28. It was very generous of them to support that testing, because Rule 28 does not sell tires. They don't have anything to do with tires. They just have a passion for making people go fast. So they helped me out with that testing, and huge thank you to them. Um, so we use their pedaling efficiency rig. They've got a pavement surface and a cobbled surface. They don't have a gravel surface, but we use the cobbled surface to approximate a gravel surface. And we tested 35, 40, 45, 50, and then a 55 millimeter mountain bike tire. And we found that the mountain bike tire, just when the mountain bike tire was slower on pavement, as you would expect, you got on cobbles, the mountain bike tire blew the gravel tires out of the water. And that testing that we did on the rig backs up the testing that I've done in real life. I've tested this in real life on gravel, and I found the exact same thing. And I think that there's a reason for that, and it's because mountain bike tires utilize a thinner casing. And usually a thinner casing tire means a lower rolling resistance. And the reason why they can get away with a thinner casing is because the tire is so wide. If you actually put that thinner casing on a 40, you're going to flat.
Yeah.
Just it's inevitable. You're going to flat. So in order to have a casing that thin, you need a tire that wide. And I think you could actually make the argument too that the tread of the mountain bike tire is also helping to protect the thin casing.
Is it tire dependent? Did you test different mountain bike tires and brands?
So when we were at Silverstone, we didn't test different mountain bike tires. We only tested the Race King. I've tested different mountain bike tires, and it is tire dependent. I mean, there are definitely slow mountain bike tires out there. You don't want to just throw any old mountain bike tire on there and call it good. There are slow mountain bike tires, just like there's slow gravel tires and fast gravel tires. My personal recommendation right now is what I use is I'll use the Conti Race King for a race that is particularly chunky, or a race where I'm worried about flatting. So that would be Unbound, Big Sugar. Those are races where there are a lot of punctures and there's quite chunky sections. And I use the Race King because I feel like it's got a little bit better flat protection, and it's a 2.2, so it's wide by gravel standards. And then if there's less of a risk of flatting or it's smoother gravel, I'll usually go with the Schwalbe Thunderbird 2.1.
We have 3 long-form podcasts every week. Some of them are 90 minutes or 2 hours long, and I realize you're busy. Sometimes it's hard to cut through the noise and figure out the signal, figure out what the important parts are of these conversations. So I've taken your feedback, and once a week I'm delivering to your inbox a newsletter called the Saturday Spin. It's a 4-minute read or less, and it's going to break down the very best thing I've learned on the podcast this week. So it's insights from the biggest names in the world tour, physiologists, sports psychologists, and coaches. It's completely free to sign up to the newsletter. All you have to do is go to roadmancycling.com, stick in your email address, and once a week on a Saturday morning, I will deliver the Saturday Spin newsletter direct to your inbox. The link is down below. Go sign up.